Tonight on News Prime, General Olufemi Oluyode takes over as new Chief of Defense Staff. In business, federal government approves 758 billion naira bond to clear pension backlogs. In the foreign scene, Donald Trump orders United States military to resume nuclear weapons testing. And in sports, Nigeria Judo Federation marks a day with peace walk in Abuja. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to the News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Ramsey Enoch Agbo. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Now the news in full. The Nigerian Armed Forces have witnessed a major transition in leadership as the outgoing Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, officially handed over to his successor, General Olusegun Oluyede. The ceremony, which took place at the Defense Headquarters in Abuja, marks the beginning of a new phase in the country's military leadership. Ubong Usoro reports.
The brief but symbolic handover ceremony brought together senior military officers, defense chiefs, and top government officials. In his farewell remarks, the outgoing Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, expressed gratitude to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the opportunity to serve and commended officers and men of the armed forces for their dedication, loyalty, and professionalism. He highlighted the collective achievements of his tenure, including improved interagency coordination, enhanced troop welfare, and strengthened counter-insurgency operations, while urging continued unity and commitment to the security of the nation.
And for the peace and unity of our great nation, I will definitely miss you all, but I remain with you all in spirit. The journey continues, the mission endures, the duty never ends. Thank you for the honor of a lifetime. Long live the Armed Forces of Nigeria. Long live forever. Goodbye and thank you very much.
In his acceptance speech, the new Chief of Defense Staff, General Olusegun Oluyode, pledged to build on the foundation led by his predecessor. He assured Nigerians of the military's unwavering commitment to national peace, unity, and territorial integrity. General Oluyode emphasized the importance of intelligence sharing, technology-driven operations, and joint task force collaboration in addressing Nigeria's evolving security challenges.
Under my leadership, the Defense Headquarters will continue to advocate for improved welfare, housing, medical support, and training opportunities for personnel and their families. We shall also invest in the moral and psychological well-being of our troops, ensuring that the sacrifices are recognized and rewarded.
The handover ceremony ended with a formal signing of documents and a symbolic transfer of command, marking a new chapter in the leadership of the Nigerian Armed Forces. Ubong Usoro, reporting for Global Television.
The Federal Ministry of Education has flagged off the Ideas TVET Youth Empowerment Training Program aimed at equipping Nigerian youths with technical and vocational skills for employment and self-reliance. The event held at the University of Port Harcourt saw the participation of key stakeholders from the education and private sector. Again, Ubong Usoro reports.
It was a moment of hope and excitement at the University of Port Harcourt as the Federal Ministry of Education, in collaboration with the Nigerian Youth Employment and Skills Acquisition Fund, officially launched the Ideas TVET Youth Empowerment Training Program. Leading the initiative, Prince Morgan Bob Manuel, project consultant, described the program as a pathway to building young entrepreneurs and innovators.
We are going to ensure that we succeed. How are we going to do it? Basically, by giving you the required skills in the area of fishing and farming, where we can eliminate hunger.
The Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Ogwonari George Will, commended the federal government and partners for selecting Uniport as the South-South Training Hub.
This program offers training in various areas and For me, it is a very, very unique program that the federal government has initiated, working together with the World Bank and other stakeholders to ensuring that there is youth empowerment.
The South-South Regional Coordinator, Mr. Domsek Elder, said the training covers high-demand sectors like ICT, renewable energy, agriculture, fashion design, and small business management. The empowerment initiative is expected to train thousands of youth nationwide, turning many from job seekers into job curators. Ubong Usoro for Global Television.
The Senate has confirmed the nomination of Bernard Doro as minister after screening in plenary in Abuja. President Bola Tinubu has last week sent his name to the Senate in accordance with the provision of Section 14, subsection 2 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. Topsy Ginba has the details.
During the screening, Duro, who hails from Plateau State, used the opportunity to outline his vision for fostering an inclusive humanitarian ecosystem in the country. He promised to create a humanitarian ecosystem that is inclusive, guided by impartiality and independence.
I intend to, contribute my quota to the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President by transferring the different experiences that I have in different sectors to help even in policy crafting and implementation, so that the lives of Nigerians can be bettered.
After a few questions, senators expressed satisfaction with his credentials and capacity to serve. With his confirmation, Duro will now have the vacant position of Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, previously occupied by the current chairman of the All Progressives Congress APC, Nentawe Yelweda. Shortly after his confirmation, the Senate President Gospel Pavio called for the adjournment of the plenary to enable lawmakers to attend the inauguration of the service chiefs at the State House in Abuja.
The Senate, in the Committee of the Whole, considered the request of Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief, for the confirmation of Dr. Bernard Mohamed Doro for appointment as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The nominee answered questions from distinguished senators on a number of topical issues, and thereafter the committee approved the nomination of Dr. Bernard Mohamed Doro as the Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The plenary was adjourned to Tuesday next week. Topsy Gimba, reporting for Global Television News.
There was a mild drama at the National Assembly as officials of the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board JAMB staged a walkout during an investigative hearing of the House of Committee on Basic Education and Examination Bodies. The injury chaired by Obuko Ufoji was convened to scrutinize JAMB's 2023 and 2025 budget performance, its remittance to the federal government, as well as bank statements detailing revenue inflows and expenditure. National Assembly correspondent Anyete Patrick reports.
Although the registrar, Professor Ishak Oloyede, was invited to appear in person, he delegated a director, Muftak Bello, to represent him. However, the atmosphere quickly turned tense after Bello requested that journalists be excused from the session, claiming the documents to be presented contained sensitive information. The lawmakers insisted that the proceedings must remain public, citing the constitutional mandate of parliamentary transparency. The refusal triggered the JAMB team to rise and walk out of the meeting, a move that lawmakers describe as disrespectful and an affront to parliamentary oversight.
It's not the right for JAMB representative to say they want a meeting closed door and that they want to see the chairman in camera. These are the things that they put the National Assembly members into trouble. Why must you see the chairman behind doors? We like being open because this is public money.
Chairman Ofoji condemned the action as unfortunate and unacceptable, warning that such conduct would not hinder the legislature from performing its constitutional duty of ensuring accountability in the management of public funds. Other lawmakers, including Awaje Inombek Abiante, Billy Osaworu, Maria Ebikake, and Rodney Amobiwo, also criticized the decision to stage a walkout, insisting that public institutions must remain accountable to the Nigerian people through the legislature.
The National Assembly has requested that JAMB should furnish us with certain details of the income and expenditure, including whatever sources of revenue that they have gotten.
It's unheard of where an agency will come in. For us to oversight an agency, then the agency will tell us that, sorry, we would like to see you in private.
The committee consequently issued a summons directing the JAMB registrar to appear before it with his full management team by next Tuesday or face sanctions in accordance with Section 88 and 89 of the 1999 Constitution. From the National Assembly, Anie T. Patrick, reporting for Global TV News.
As Nigerians gear up for the Anambra governorship election on November 8, a major technological breakdown is set to redefine how election results are reported. SoftSmart Enterprise Solution has unveiled an AI-driven electoral result platform that promises real-time transparency and instant update across broadcast and digital channels. Our correspondent, Sadia Yakub, has the details.
For the first time in Nigerians' electoral history, election night coverage will be powered by artificial intelligence delivering verified results in real time. Managing Director of SoftSmart Enterprise Solutions, Charles Goriola Yakubu, says the system will automatically read and upload official result sheet to a secure database within seconds. Instant displaying outcomes on the live television dashboards and online scoreboards as they appear on INEC's IREF portal.
What we're here to do today is first to introduce you to a breakthrough technology that our company developed. For the first time on Saturday, by the grace of God, we will tell you, we will project who will win that election by 8-9 as a result of this our technology. You don't need to have your agent in the polling unit. All you need is subscribe to our system and your party headquarters, right? And monitor the elections.
Yakubu explains that each result form is processed in under 30 seconds with over 95% accuracy, compressing what used to take days into mere moments. He says the innovation is designed to restore public confidence by making result collation transparent, visible, and verifiable, reducing post-election disputes and tensions. The AI platform also integrates interactive storytelling tools, allowing anchors and analysts to showcase candidate profiles, party histories, and public highlights, turning raw data into compelling insight for viewers. Beyond live results, the system includes an electoral night analytics, mirroring international broadcast standards, and giving Nigerians not just numbers, but context, empowering informed commentary and trust in electoral reporting. Sadia Yakubu, reporting for Global Television News.
The KUKA Center, in partnership with the Benue State government, is set to train 200 personnel of the Benue State Civil Protection Guards. The move aims to strengthen community security and promote accountable service delivery. Benue State correspondent Felicity Ndere reports.
The KUKA Center is teaming up with the Benue State government to train 200 personnel from the Benue State Civil Protection Guards. The goal is to boost community security and promote accountability.
Whose administration prioritizes peace building, inclusive governance, and people-centered development.
The project manager of the KUKA Center says the initiative is part of efforts to improving community security for accountability service delivery, which focus on capacity building, institutional reform and standard procedures for the Civil Protection Guards.
The thinking of the KUKA Center through the Strengthening Peace and Resilience in Nigeria program is to first associate herself with the successes that have been recorded and then contribute to strengthening the operations of these security outfits by way of strengthening the legal frameworks that establish them, as well as providing specialized training.
The stakeholders are on board with the traditional institutions, praising the involvement in security planning.
The input made by all of you sent to the government, and the governor implements some of these things. It may work, but as I've said, the issue of security in Benue State is very complicated. We don't know why it so persists, but in spite of what the government's intention have been and so on, but it continues.
For me, I am very happy, and I'm happy that today I'm part of this team that is going to improve on the law and make it workable in future.
However, legal analysts are calling for reforms, especially regarding funding, welfare and accountability mechanisms.
The essence of analyzing the law, doing this assessment, is to see the gaps in the law that needs to be strengthened so that the Civil Protection Guard are properly positioned for them to be more effective and efficient in carrying out their responsibilities as outlined in the law.
The project is supported by Strengthening Peace and Resilience in Nigeria, Spring Program, an initiative of the UK's Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, implemented by Tetra Tech International Development and executed by the KUKA Center. In Makurdi, Felicity Ndere, reporting for Global Television News.
You're watching the live broadcast of News Prime. When News Prime returns, Donald Trump orders United States military to resume nuclear weapons testing. Details coming shortly, plus business and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. Welcome back from that break. Now let's take you to the world of business, where the federal government has approved 758 billion naira in bond to offset long-standing pension liabilities, including pension increase owned since 2007. The Director General of the National Pension Commission, Omolola Oluwararon, disclosed this in Yola at a two-day sensitization workshop on the workings of the contributory pension scheme for employees and pensioners in the Northeast. Oluwararon, represented by the Commissioner for Administration in PENCOM, Alhaji Bello Abubakar, described the approved and bond stepped by President Bola Tinubu to bring relief to vulnerable pensioners and restore confidence in the pension system. She said the workshop formed part of ongoing reform to enhance awareness and deepen understanding of the CPS among retirees and other stakeholders. Let's take you to the foreign scene, where the United States President Donald Trump has ordered the military to immediately resume nuclear weapons testing after a gap of more than 30 years. Trump made the statement in his Truth social platform just before meeting Chinese President Xi Jinping, and days after denouncing Russia for testing a nuclear-powered missile. The United States more nuclear weapons than any other country, with Russia second and China third. A United States judge has jailed two men for 25 years each for a plot allegedly hatched by Tehran to kill Iranian-American journalist Masih Alinejad. Rafat Amirov and Pallav Omarov, both members of an Eastern European criminal gang, orchestrated a failed plot to assassinate campaign reporter Alinejad. Uyi Agbomofuebe completes the report.
According to the Justice Department, the jailed men, members of the Eastern European Crime Network, were contracted by Ruhollah Benghazi, identified as a brigadier general in Iran's Revolutionary Guards, and other members of his network to murder Alinjad. Speaking outside the Mehantan courthouse following the sentencing, Alinjad, who brandished a summer flower, Speaking outside the Mehantan courthouse following the sentencing, Alinjad, who brandished a sunflower, said she was nervous but empowered to speak the truth.
This is the dream that millions of Iranians are fighting. They want to have justice. That's why I want to say this is a historical day. I grew up in a small village in Iran where I was brainwashed with alongside millions of schoolgirls, schoolboys, to chant death to America. How ironic. The same country, America, gave me second life.
She also made a strong case for undemocratic countries to be held to account over the illegal acts they perpetrate.
The killers were from Russia, and that sent a signal to the US government that the Russian government, Chinese government, Venezuelan government, Iranian government, they all work together. Unfortunately, dictators are more united than democratic countries. And that's a sign. The sentencing should be a sign for all democratic countries to take transnational repression serious.
The 49-year-old Alinjad, one of the most prominent dissident campaigners against Iranian authorities, for years has pushed for the abolition of the obligatory headscarf in an Iran under the banner of My Stealthy Freedom, having left Iran in 2009. Uyi Agbomofwegbe reporting for Global TV News.
The Nigerian Judo Federation has joined the global judo community in commemorating this year's World Judo Day with a fitness walk and advocacy campaign in Abuja. The event, which held at the Old Parade Ground, highlighted the value of peace, unity, and discipline, key principle that define the sport. Anieta Patrick reports.
It was a colorful display of sportsmanship and community engagement as judokas marched through parts of Abuja to mark World Judo Day 2025. Each year, October 28th, is specifically set aside to celebrate the life and legacy of judo founder Professor Jigoro Kano. This year's theme, Peace, resonates deeply with Nigeria's social landscape. President of the Nigerian Judo Federation, Dr. Musa Oshodi, urged Nigerians to embrace peace and mutual understanding as the foundation for national development. Represented by the Secretary General of the Federation, Jude Atta, he encouraged judokas to uphold the core values of respect, discipline, and togetherness both on and off the mat. He added that judo is not only a sport, but a way of life, teaching humility, courage, and cooperation.
Because ever since he came in as the president of this country, he has not just revamped sports, he has tried to reposition sports, and we are ready to key in to support our own way to make sure judo in the next Olympics will be there fully. That is our aim and target.
The event also featured training drills and demonstrations symbolizing the role of judo in strengthening harmony within communities. Meanwhile, the president assured that the federation remains committed to advancing the sport across states and nurturing champions who represent Nigeria proudly on the global stage. Anieta Patrick reporting for Global TV News.
As the outgoing Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, officially handed over to his successor, General Olusegun Oloyede. Then in business, the federal government has approved 758 billion naira in bonds to offset long-standing pension liabilities, including pension increases owed since 2007. From the foreign scene, United States President Donald Trump has ordered the military to immediately resume nuclear weapons testing after a gap of more than 30 years. And finally, from the world of sport, the Nigerian Judo Federation has joined the global judo community in commemorating this year's World Judo Day with a fitness walk and advocacy campaign in Abuja. Before we go, let's remind you that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @Global TV NG. I am Ramsey Enoch Abo. Thank you for watching.